you probably heard this on the news. There's been a class action lawsuit against the National Association of Realtors. And there's tons of confusion about real estate commission, who is paying for what, what's going to happen. Is this going to impact our real estate market? Today, we're going to address those questions. For disclosure, I am a real estate agent. I welcome those questions because it helped me to understand what the confusion is about. So today, I'm going to show you the value a real estate agent provides to their clients. So let's talk about the lawsuit. Basically, these lawsuits, class action lawsuits, are challenging how real estate commission is being paid. Over the last 50 years, real estate commission has traditionally been covered by the seller. The seller pays for the buyer's agent commission as well as the seller agent commission. And that is being challenged right now. That responsibility of buyer's agent commission is being shifted and pushed to the buyer side. So what this potentially could mean is that if buyer has an agent, they may have to pay for their agent's commission. So you might be wondering, if I'm in the market looking to buy a home, can I just buy the home directly from the seller or the seller's agent? Why do I need my own agent if you're a buyer? So why do you need an experienced agent to guide you through the home buying process? So number one, your agent is your advocate. When I meet with a new buyer, I usually have an initial consultation. This process is about 30 to 45 minutes. I ask 30 some questions to really understand their wants and needs, their budget, their desired neighborhood. What's their requirements? Can they take on some repair work, or do they want something that's turnkey, no work related? How far is it from their work? Can they tolerate? What's their commute distance? So we really go through that exercise for me to truly understand their wants and needs. And then I would suggest some options that they have never considered. For example, most recently, one of my buyers fell in love with something they saw on Zillow, this condo in Santa Clara. They wanted to see it. After I look into it for them, I point out some of the features of these condos that may not be so desirable. They are not aware that the parking garage is all the way in the basement. They have to take an elevator and walk through 3 hallways to get to their unit. So it makes it really inconvenient for grocery shopping, this particular condominium project. Instead, I suggested another 3 or 5 other options that they haven't thought about and they have overlooked. So they ended up buying one of the options that I suggested. The whole process took about 2 weeks. I saved them weeks and weeks of browsing the internet or randomly looking at open houses on their own. I was able to get them into a home at the price they want within 2 weeks. So having someone as your advocate really understand your wants and needs will make your home search process a lot more time efficient, and then they will point out some of the features and options that you may not even think about. Number 2, your agent should be your educator. When I work with a buyer, I try to educate them on the home buying process. Not only the process, some of the things they should be aware of. For the homes that they really intend to make an offer, we review the disclosure, which by the way is typically 400 to 500 pages. And in the case of a single family home, most of the homes will come with 3 inspections. I go over the inspection findings with my buyers, help them understand, are those notations a big ticket item, or is it something that could be fixed over time, or it's not a big deal. So we kind of go over those inspection findings for them to calm their nerves, because home inspections could be a little scary to read. You could see 30 plus items that call for attention, but really, how much does it cost for repair? Is this a big ticket item, or is this something that could wait? It's something that I kind of go over that with my buyer. The other thing that I offer my buyer is to help them understand the HOA. How are the HOA finances? Is there going to be upcoming assessment? Is there litigation involved? That's going to affect their ability to borrow loans from the lender. So we really dig into the disclosure and understand what are the key elements that are important for the buyer to understand. When someone buys the home for the first time, reading the disclosure could feel like reading foreign language. It's hard to understand. So having a seasoned real estate agent guiding you through those complicated documentations is critical to you feeling good about putting in an offer, especially in a competitive environment, putting in a non-contingent offer. You really need to know what you're getting yourself into and be able to do risk assessment. So number 3, your real estate agent help you understand the true market value of the property you want to make an offer on. Oftentimes we see a listing price and we get attracted to it. We visit, some of my buyers might want to visit the open house, really feel like this is a great house, but is the listing price reflective of the true market value? Oftentimes it's not. Listing price is really an art. There's no science behind it. What I do for my client is I help them understand what was the last few sales of similar homes in a similar neighborhood so far. And even the ones that are not public information yet, such as pending sale. How many offers did they receive? What was the pending price? This is all going to determine ultimately what a home that is active on the market is worth. All this information that's beyond computer algorithm. You really need someone who is seasoned, who really understands the neighborhood, who really has a good grip of what the recent sold comps and pending sales are. So having a real estate agent will help educate you on the true market value of the home you want to make an offer. Number 4, your agent help you minimize the risk that you are probably not even aware of. For example, most recently, a client of mine liked a townhouse that they saw, and after we dig into the HOA documents, we realized that there could be potential assessment coming up because of some deferred maintenance in the community that calls for a large amount of fund for repair. So those costs is going to come from all the homeowners, and therefore it's going to create a shortfall in their reserve, and therefore it's likely that there's going to be assessment. Usually those are details that's hidden in between the lines and details that are hidden deep into the HOA documents. Having a seasoned real estate agent will help you uncover those potential risks that you are not even aware of. The other example is that another client bought a home. We got her in at a really good deal, but the home felt too small for her after 3 of her children moved in with her. So she wanted to sell. Reminded her of the tax consequences of selling the home before it can be considered a primary home. That's another example of what I offer my client. Not only have I point out some of the risks that they are not aware of, I also help them understand the tax consequences as well as some of the tax strategies involving real estate. Point number 5, your agent get you into a home in a situation of a tough competition. Here in the Bay Area, especially recently in the spring, and we're entering the summertime of 2024. Competition is fierce. Low inventory resulted in very limited choices for buyers. So for a lot of homes out there, you are faced with 10 to 15 other buyers wanting to buy. So the competition is fierce. Your real estate agent, if she has good network, she has good relationship with other agents, will get you into the home. What I usually do is, I've been in this business for nearly 2 decades. I know the agents. I have a very strong connection with the real estate agents network in this area. I typically could get a sense of what it takes to get into contract with the seller. So having someone who is strong in identifying what it takes to get into a home is critical to your success in buying a home. Number 6, your agent is your voice of reason. I understand. I've bought in so many homes myself. I understand buying a home is a very scary process, especially here in the Bay Area. It's a lot of money. It's pretty normal to feel like you overpay. It almost always feel like someone overpays. When I got into my first property 15 years ago, I feel like I paid too much for it. However, 15 years later, I am glad I made that decision. Here in the Bay Area, there are some market indicators that only a seasoned real estate agent knows. I usually try to help my my client understand that buying a home is a long-term gain. And I will ask them a lot of questions. Is buying a home is something that is important in this stage in their life. In the long run, what are the likelihood of what they can do to leverage this piece of real estate? So I get into the conversation of a long view with my client. I oftentimes place a therapist to my clients because it's a very nerve-wracking process to be competing against 15 other offers. And sometimes I told them that if they pay that price, they overpay. I discourage them from moving forward, and we go and look at other options. So you need someone who is logical, who could provide you with good reasons in this very stressful home buying process. And finally, your real estate agent is your ally. This is someone that is going to be your lifelong advisor, one of the lifelong advisors, hopefully, because your real estate agent knows the market cycle. You might need to count on this person to remind you it's a good time to sell, it's a good time to buy, or there are other ways to leverage your real estate holding. Most recently, I got together with a client for coffee, and I share with her some of the asset relocation I'm doing for my own property. So basically what I did was I sold one of the single family homes that I own, and I exchanged it into a 5-unit property, which effectively tripled the rental income. This client have never thought that could be done. She asked me a lot of questions about it, and she decided that's what makes sense for their family at this current stage. So your real estate agent is really your lifelong ally and advisor. Have someone who is well versed with the market, well versed with tax strategies, and have a large network of professionals who could support you in this wealth building journey is critical to your long-term wealth. So I just outlined 7 ways a real estate agent add value to your home buying process. You decide whether having a real estate agent on your side is important to you. And if you watch this video, you are most likely to be interested in real estate investing. I offer a monthly webinar if you are interested in leveraging real estate as a long-term wealth building tool. Check out my monthly webinar at the link below.